On this episode of Carnage, we need to get this into there and get it running. So, 2 months ago, we put together this very budget barra to put into the taxi. And the plan was to have it in and driving and running way before now, but we've been distracted by other things like the ute and drag challenge. And just dealing with all that stuff, yeah, this has kind of been forgotten again. Poor taxi, it keeps getting forgotten. So, we need to get this engine in the taxi, get it running. I was going to do all this off camera, but we don't have a video for this week yet, so let's do this. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen right now. Got to do this one in 2 parts. So that's the adapter with the factory oil pressure sensor, and then obviously the oil feed for the turbo at the top. But you can't screw that in until you do this part because it hits against the block when you try and turn it around. Fun. Okay, gasket. Now for our titanium nuts and washers from ProFlow. Here's something no one talks about with barrel water pumps. This hole here is not threaded. It never is. So what you're going to do is, before you put it on the car, stick a bolt in there, create a thread, so not having to do it on the car, which is not a fun thing. Now we can stick it on. So these are just the fuel feeds to the injector rail. There's all for the main injectors. So we've got 12 injectors. They're all the same type, all the same size. And that's how we feed it. Come here. So we're about to drop our engine in the engine bay. A couple of things to talk about. Yes, the temperature sensor's not in the back of the head. We leave it out because it sticks out quite far. And if you smack it up against the firewall, you snap it off and it costs a lot of money. So I'll leave it out and put it in later. I also have to do the rear main seal, which yeah, I'll do after I take this off. So let's lift it up, do the rear main, and then we'll put our plate on and our flex plate on, get it in the engine bay. So step one was put our rear main seal on. Step two is put our plate on, and it has to be on because it locates the starter. All right, and it definitely goes that way. All right, now for our flex plate. Needs a little bit of a clean. Alrighty, that's done. Let's drop it in the car tomorrow. Jacking up. So I worked out I need to put this on before I drop the engine in. But maybe I should have put that on before I put the manifold on. This could be painful. Okay, this will work, I think. Go that way. Good as time as any for some oil filter action as well. I'll be a good boy and I'll pre-lube the filter. Right, now I think we're ready to drop it in. Okay, engine is in, sort of. Now we just need to do the rest, like the trans and all that joy. Time for some of that BTR life. So I was thinking it was a long time since I've been under here, so I went and looked it up. And we haven't been under here since February. It is now December. So yeah, that was a while ago. Poor old taxi, she's been a bit neglected. And it was November last year where we actually revived it and blew it up again straight away. Let's not do that again, I hope. But either way, this will be its last chance on gas. Because if this doesn't work, all this gas crap's coming out. It's coming out anyway, but we'll do it on gas, see how it goes. But the other thing that's unique about this car is the BTR. So most FG Falcons run ZFs, the 6 speeds. So, and if they don't run a ZF, you know, if someone's gone to the power level where a ZF no longer copes with it, they usually go to a Turbo 400 or something. So the amount of turbocharged FG Falcons out there with BTR autos in them is very low. Yeah, very low. I won't say it's 1, but it's got to be less than 5. Because, yeah, not many guys are out there turbocharging taxis, got to say. But anyway, trans is there, it's all built. It's actually been a bit of an omen. Ever since we built the trans for this thing, everything else has blown up around it. Anyway, all right, we'll whack it back in there and get this thing going. High kicks. Okay. There we go. That wasn't too bad. Up we go. So if you may recall, this trans was rebuilt and toughened up by the guys at Preston's Automatics quite a while ago. What is that? But yeah, she's been a good auto. It's just ever since we put it in, I think we've broken axles and several engines, and so we've never really got to realise the car's full potential and the potential of this transmission ever since. It's been frustrating. Okay, I gotta say, I really hate hard lines for transmission lines. Actually, I got a story about that. So a guy I used to race with years ago, he was a bit of a dummy spitter, he had a bit of a spanner thrower. Anyway, he was in his driveway struggling under a car one day doing transmission lines, and then another guy we knew showed up and said, oh, you know, what's the problem? He's like, oh, I've been trying to do these transmission lines for 2 hours. They just won't line up. I just can't get them in. Dude's like, oh, you know, take a break. I'll get in there and have a look. So the dude gets under there, gets out, 5 minutes, done. He's like, what? How'd you get them done? Oh, no, it's easy, man. Just, they lined up straight away. It's all good. Don't worry about it. He cross-threaded all the lines. Sometimes helpers are not helpers. That's the lesson there. But also, hard lines. They suck. The bar. We need the bar. Now we play the connecting game. Home to the mountain. Around there and up there. Wingardium Leviosa. It doesn't work. Anyway, alright, that's what it is. Right, well, she's ready but not ready. So we've got most of it done. We're waiting on the radiator. It's only just shown up, but we really have run out of time for this episode. It's mostly there. So I think maybe we just throw a battery in it and see if she starts. I mean, it won't have any boost and it won't have any water, but if it goes broom, I'll call that a success. All right, let's throw a battery in it. See what happens. All right, that one that way. Okay, it has a battery. It has oil. The gas is turned on. Boost line. Let me just connect that to something. Just so it doesn't have a vacuum leak. All right. Doing things. No. sure it's in. Make sure it's in park proper. That would be a no. Unless that wire is not the starter activation wire. There's two wires under there. So there's that one. Oh, it is that stupid key. The key on this car's got 600,000 Ks on it, so the key is not great. Gotta get a new key for this thing. Put some jumper leads on it. I'm over it. Right, well, apparently it's not going to start this episode. So, work out what's wrong with it. I think it's the ignition key. The ignition barrel is just stuffed. This car is, for its age, it is very worn. So, next time you see it, it might be running or it might be on fire. Whatever happens, you'll see it on a future episode of Carnage.